Gemini, and people who related to the idea of song. Birdsong is what I'm surrounded by at the moment. That's what came to me. You're internally, Four of Pentacles. I'm doing a very quick Celtic cross for you. Externally, how is that making you act as the Lovers? And as a basis of this reading, a Strength card, something coming up in the near future. Oops. I have to rescue that book from this very wet environment. It's been raining a lot, which is why the birds are all going crazy now. So something coming, something from your recent past. Oops. So we've got the Knight of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. And an potential outcome, Five of Cups. Something coming up in the near future, Ace of Cups. Your attitude, 3 cards. Gosh, that's interesting. The Four of Wands, the Tower, and the Queen of Cups. Your environment, you've got the Three of Cups and the Nine of Wands. Your hopes and fears, 2 cards again, King of Cups and the Three of Wands, and an outcome. An outcome. King of Pentacles, lovely. Okay, so it's interesting. There's a little bit of a fight going on with your energy here. We've got 4 majors and we've got 2 kings. It's about how to calm. I think this reading is about how to calm your own inner demons and those of people around you. Let's just dive straight in. So internally, we see you feeling either stuck or quite kind of content as to where you are, holding a situation. It is a stage card. You see those 2 lines. So Pamela Coleman Smith, who illustrated these, was given free rein on the minor arcana, and she's made quite a few of these cards to look like stage sets with that double line. For me, it indicates it's just a stage. It's going to give way to something else. It's very firmly a phase that will involve a scene change shortly afterwards. But, you know, if we were talking about saving, obviously this would be a great card, but there is an element of being a bit stuck in this card. So the 4s are stable, but they can tip into being rigid. And so there's an element of you physically feeling a bit stuck. Physically, because we're talking about pentacles, it could be to do with finances, sort of wanting to keep the ship together and not rock the boat too much. But how it makes you act on the outside is this lovely Lovers card that I'm afraid I'm covering most of because they're naked. Partnership, being offered something from a divine source, a sort of choice. I think you're prepared to make a choice that gets you out of this feeling of being stuck. The previous reading that I've just done, for those people, it was very much about feeling stuck and not really wanting to move forward and having to be sort of broken out of a position that you were in. Here I kind of get the feeling that you really want to get going. You want to take a choice that's going to move you on. In the basis of the reading, we have the Strength card. This is the female alchemist, and she wrestles with her subconscious, with other people's baser natures, and her own baser nature successfully, in a pure way, in a feminine, gentle mode. She gets what she wants. She's not frightened by this incredible beast. So it implies getting on top of whatever this fear is that's making you feel stuck, being able to work with what you're being offered in this divine way and actually sort of just go for it, not feel that you have to keep everything as it is, but actually be a bit more fluid. In the recent past, we see you juggling 2 options, but this is a lot of fast energy here. Again, it's another stage card of the two of Pentacles, but the Knight of Wands is somebody that would rush in and out. He's the love 'em and leave 'em, but he takes risks. He's full of libido and energy and passions, and I think there's been a kind of welling up of some sort of passion within you that is starting to be unleashed, and you have been keeping it at bay, mixing all of those energies into your everyday life, but it's now starting to sort of move everything forward, we can see from this reading. Potential outcome. Now this bit appeared for the last people as well, which is focusing on what you might lose through change and not focusing on what you still have. So a sense of disappointment here. It could be what kept you feeling quite stuck in the first place, is that there's been some disappointments recently, lost opportunities of work, love life not going quite the way it should do. Previously, maybe, I mean, this could be a love reading for some people where you're frightened to make this commitment of the Lovers, because you've had previous disappointments, and so you're focusing on what you lost last time when you opened your heart and not on what could be an amazing union. And this little white bridge here appears later on. So if this character was to turn around and look at those two cups and get themselves over that white bridge, then this is your attitude, which we're coming on later to, which is that same white bridge which leads to a very beautiful partnership. So although we haven't got too many cups here, we have some significant indications of love with the Lovers, the Ace of Cups, and the Three of Cups. So I can't help thinking that for quite a lot of people this might be to do with committing in terms of a relationship, moving forward. This is the sort of just dating phase. He's very much the dater of the pack, and there might be a sense of sort of then wrestling with your own resistances to actually go into a sort of more committed phase. That also could be with a choice around something that you love. It could be anything that you've been hurt by in the past, where you now have an opportunity to recommit or commit to a new path, and that you need to be careful not to concentrate on what you lost last time you attempted at this kind of breakthrough, this kind of moving forward. In the near future, we go into the Ace of Cups. So again, another offering from the universe, a bit like the Lovers. You are being offered a fresh new start in something that you love, your heart being ignited, seeing potential for truly fulfilling yourself emotionally in a relationship, in a new project, in a new potentially place to live. I think it's a relationship or a project, but take it as it resonates. In your attitude, we have the card of the commitment that I mentioned before, the stable 4, that indicates marriage, committed partnership. So another card of partnership like the Lovers. The card of the Tower, and then the card of the Queen of Cups. I think this is encapsulating all the things that you are considering around this new committed love start. You want this stability. You want to move to that stage, another stage card, where you are committed and partnered with, it could be a business partner, a love partner, a project that you absolutely love. But you're worried about not building it on the right foundations. I think there's been something in the past, a disappointment that makes you want to stay stuck, that makes you a bit defensive, because I can see that coming up as well. But there's this love, it's growing. There's a sort of real sense of, actually, maybe I have found my Grail cup. You know, you're being offered it here, what you really, truly love. And then she's staring at it lovingly in the Queen of Cups. And she's able to dip her toe into these emotions and stay stable on the shore. And she's in a good position. So I think this attitude encapsulates your considering of commitment, what the downsides might be and what the pluses might be for you. In your environment, we have yet another stage card, the Nine of Wands, a defensive character. He's been hurt before, and he's definitely got his defenses up. But there's something that's a cause of celebration. There's some sort of beautiful party and sense of friendship and community. And so this again is you feeling that something beautiful is being offered to you, a new community, a new work environment, a new family that you could create, new friendship it could even be. But you're feeling a little bit defensive because you've been hurt before. In your hopes and fears, we have now the counterpart to the Queen of Cups, but this is now the King of Cups, who he is a bit overwhelmed by his emotions. And so what you're hoping here is to be able to see a way out of feeling overwhelmed by your emotions, because here we see in the Three of Wands, someone alighting on a plan, somewhere to go to, a way out of a situation, the next stage. And so I think in combination with the King of Cups, what it's really saying is that you hope to find your way out of emotional overwhelm, to be able to see beyond to a new world where you don't have to be overwhelmed by these feelings of love and betrayal and commitment and what that means. And in anything, just having a little bit more bravery in terms of the heart. And where it's all leading is the King of Pentacles. This is just a gorgeous card of security. And it's interesting, we had a pentacle in your past, which is the Two of Pentacles. We had you internally as the Four of Pentacles, stuck, not knowing what to do in a kind of small but secure position. And now we have you resplendent, looking after those that you love, looking after your family, your kin, your work environment, resplendent, secure, able to give from a position of security. So it really does indicate that you're getting over this worry, whatever it is. So we're going to pull quickly 2 cards from 2 different decks. One is the Enchanted Forest deck, to see if it pushes us to look at some part of the reading in particular. It jumped out immediately. Came out last time. This is interesting. It's the Seeker of Challenges. I almost don't need to go to the book for this because I've literally just read it, and it's really interesting. It talks about quite a frightening character when you read the book, but also he reminded me a lot of the Emperor, who's not turned up in your spread, but he turned up previously, and he's armoured and he's committed. He cannot, in this card it sort of says in the small précede of it, cannot be persuaded to, he's very loyal in marriage and in his commitments. And I think this is what it's about. You're being challenged to be committed. He's ready, and he's ready to fight for what he wants and be secure in this new phase, and not to run at the first sight of problems, but to actually commit to this new project. And then in the Rachel Pollock's Shining Tribe deck, we've got the Two of Stones. So this is, I think, going back to the Two of Pentacles, which is interesting in your recent past. What does she have to say about it? Because she always has a slightly different take on things. Two of Stones, trees, rivers, birds, stones. So in Précis, this card, in the manner of a coin, there is no right side up or a reverse for this card, but simply 2 sides. If the toad appears on top, which it is there, it signifies action. If the tortoise, creative power and involvement, the person moves quickly, not necessarily wisely or with the best results. The tortoise on top indicates intuition, peacefulness, withdrawal. This person moves slowly but with careful thought. This too is not necessarily the best approach. The card may simply state what the person is doing. Other cards in the reading will indicate what the Two of Stones advises. Did she say it recommends? Recommends or advises? Describes or advises. It's a tribute to the I Ching, this card, and one card could be designated yang, the other yin, receptive and active. This picture is an idea for such a coin with the toad as yang, the tortoise as yin. The Two of Coins usually shows 2 ornate coins in a vertical arrangement, Often this card carried this card maker's signature. Both toads and tortoises signified divine powers, active energy, and long life and slow deliberation. It reminds us that we have many sides and many aspects at different moments. Like the yin and yang of the fish, of the two of rivers, the two images may seem very different. They don't flow into each other, but instead signify distinct choice between one quality or the other. The coin comes down on one side, and yet it can easily flip over. Neither side's superior, neither aspect lasts forever. This is the true lesson of all oracles and divination. Not that any single event will happen, but that all events and all conditions change. And I think that's saying to you, just go for it, because it will change again. You'll commit to this position and move forward, and then something else will come and you can change again. You can make a choice, move forward, and then if it's the wrong choice, you can change again. It's better than staying stuck, I think. So we're just going to have one final card from the Rider Waite again, just to see, to clarify finally what this reading is about. For Birdsong and Gemini. No. Well, it's interesting. What was face up? I've got lots of cards down here, but what was face up was the Chariot and the Queen of Swords. And I think that is, I will take those, because I think that is sort of saying what we've just said, which is move forward with the understanding that things might not be perfect. You know, you can split your laser beam and just go for it. Follow your quest. Use your logic. Use your mind to move this situation forward. Be inspired. Do not stay stuck. Your mind can help you here. It's a bit like the keeper of challenges, the seeker of challenges. You can be disciplined and make a commitment, and it will help you move forward. I think the important thing here is to move forward. Don't get stuck in a holding pattern like that card that we've just read, which took us back to the Two of Stones that was with this kind of non-committed knight in the past, the recent past. It's saying you can move forward because all things change. So why don't you just move forward? Take some good, clear decisions, and then you might have to split your laser beam for the moment. But get on this quest, get on this heroic quest, and go for it, because you are being offered a chance to move forward, and it would be a pity to stay stuck. I hope that helps.